You ever hear about the old Lincoln Elementary? The one that shut down almost 20 years ago because of, well, nobody really knows why, but I do. I was there. I'm the only one who walked out alive. And I swear to you, it wasn't just an accident. There was something else in that school. Something wrong. And it wasn't a ghost. It was worse. I wasn't supposed to be there. The school was condemned, boarded up tight with signs warning people away. But it was the last day of summer break, and my dumb kid friends dared me to sneak inside. Said they'd never been inside either. We all thought it'd be a quick thrill, just a few minutes exploring the dusty classrooms, then gone. When I got there, the building looked like a monster that time forgot. Paint peeling off the walls like rotting skin, broken desks scattered everywhere, blackboards scribbled with faded math problems, and a faint smell of mold mixed with something sour I couldn't place. At first, nothing felt wrong, just the usual spooky vibes abandoned places have, but then I heard it. A slow, shuffling sound echoing down the hallway. Soft, like footsteps, but not quite right. I called out. No answer. Just the sound got closer, like something was moving in the shadows. I rounded the corner and saw it. A clown. Not the kind from a birthday party. This clown's face was painted white but cracked and faded, with smeared red around its mouth like it had been laughing too long and too hard. Its eyes glinted in the dark like a predator's. The thing didn't move like a person. It was jerky, unnatural, as if it was both alive and something else. I froze. For a second, I thought it was just a crazy person in a costume, but then I saw the way its smile stretched, too wide, like it was tearing its own face apart just to grin. I ran. I heard it behind me, chasing, but it wasn't footsteps anymore, more like scraping, claws on tile, slow but relentless. I ducked into classrooms, slammed doors, but it always found me, waiting just beyond the doorway, humming some warped carnival tune. I don't know how, but kids started disappearing. My friends, one by one, swallowed up by that hellish school and that clown's nightmare. I'd hear screams, but when I checked, no one was there. Just empty rooms and that sick, hollow laugh echoing off the walls. The clown didn't just kill, it twisted the rooms themselves. Hallways that should have led to the exit looped back like a maze. Doors vanished, the ceiling dripped shadows. At one point, I found a cracked mirror covered in blood. And in the reflection, the clown was standing behind me. But when I turned, it wasn't there. Only its grin stayed with me, floating in the glass. I started noticing things. Faint scribbles on the walls, like child's handwriting. But they said things no one would write. Don't trust the laugh. He never leaves. The bell won't save you. And the school bell started ringing at random times like a countdown. Every ring tightened the walls like the whole place was closing in. I realized the clown was waiting for the last bell to finish the game. The final chase happened in the gym. The lights flickered and the air smelled like wet paint and decay. The clown appeared, this time with real claws, eyes blazing, red and black smoke curling from its mouth. I had nowhere to run. It lunged at me, but I dodged and shoved it into the old scoreboard. It shattered, and for a split second, I saw the clown's real face beneath the paint. Pale, almost human, but twisted with something ancient. I grabbed a broken bat and hit it again and again. The clown screamed, a sound that wasn't just pain, but fury and hunger. The last bell rang, loud, deafening, and then silence. I stumbled out of Lincoln Elementary just as dawn cracked the sky. The police never believed me, said the school was empty, no bodies found, no sign anything happened. But I know what I saw, and I know what's still waiting inside that building, waiting for the next bell. If you ever hear that bell ring, run. Don't look back. Because sometimes the scariest monsters aren't ghosts or demons. They're clowns who never really leave. I'm still here, but not really. I can't forget. And sometimes, in the quiet moments, I swear I can hear that laugh, soft, creepy, endless. Stay safe out there.
When my little sister told me she was going to a school sleepover, I didn't think twice about it. It was supposed to be a reward for good grades, good behavior, perfect attendance. She was 12, bright, careful, not the kind of kid to get into trouble. That was Friday night, the last time we saw her. The next morning, she didn't come home. She didn't call. Her phone went straight to voicemail. My mom thought maybe she fell asleep at a friend's house, but I knew something wasn't right. I could feel it. We drove to the school around 8 a.m. I'll never forget it. The parking lot was completely empty. The front doors were chained shut, not locked. Chained from the outside like someone wanted to keep people in. There were no staff, no janitors, no cars. The office was dark. We called the police right then and there. What happened after that is still a blur, but I remember the lies. The school claimed there was no event scheduled, no permission slips, no list of names. They said the gym had been closed for maintenance, but I saw the flyer. I signed the form for my sister to go. She was so excited. 12 kids were invited. All 12 disappeared. The police searched the entire building. Dogs, cameras, thermal scanners, nothing. There were no signs of anyone sleeping in the gym. No pizza boxes. No sleeping bags, no leftover trash. The only thing they found was a crumpled piece of paper in the janitor's closet. A seating chart, handwritten, with 12 names, and one more name added at the bottom in red marker. Midnight. They said it was probably a prank. The case went cold. The school deleted the event records. The principal resigned and disappeared 2 weeks later. Everyone moved on, but I didn't. A year later, I broke into the school at night. It wasn't hard. Security was lax. Cameras didn't work. Felt like no one even cared anymore. The moment I stepped into the gym, I felt it. Not fear, more like being watched. Like the room had lungs and was holding its breath. I turned on my flashlight and nearly dropped it. There were sleeping bags laid out on the floor. 12 of them, perfectly spaced, clean. One of them had my sister's jacket folded on top, the one she wore the night she left. The gym clock read 12:13 a.m., and it was stuck frozen, not ticking. My phone showed the same time. No signal, no Wi-Fi, just stillness. Then the gym doors slammed shut behind me, hard. I ran to the doors and tried to yank them open, but they wouldn't budge. They were cold, ice cold. My fingers went numb in seconds, and that's when I heard it. Footsteps on the court. Soft, barefoot, slow. But there was no one there. My flashlight flickered. The scoreboard lit up, no game numbers, just names. Names I didn't recognize. Then one flickered into focus. Talia, my sister. The lights went out. Total darkness. And in that moment, I saw it. Not with my eyes, I felt it. A presence walking between the sleeping bags. Close, watching, waiting. Something brushed past me, and I swear it was smiling. I started hearing whispers.
Only one may leave. Midnight is hungry. You shouldn't have come alone.
Then, a single sleeping bag unzipped itself. Nothing inside, but the floor below it. Opened, like a mouth, wide, endless. And rising from it was a shape. A tall, impossibly thin figure, face like shattered glass, reflecting my face back at me. Only, not quite. My mouth was smiling, but I wasn't. I spoke, not aloud, in my head.
She traded herself for the others.
I asked, "Where is she?"
Gone.
But not forgotten, not by me. And then it said,
Would you take her place?
I know how this sounds. But there was a class at my high school that was never supposed to exist. Class 3A. Room 302. The problem is, no one remembers it but me. I worked night security at Merrill Ridge High, a rundown place built in the 70s. You know the type, ugly tile floors, buzzing lights, hallways that smell like dust and glue. It was boring work. Lock the doors. Watch the monitors. Drink terrible coffee. But 3 weeks ago, I started noticing something. Every night, around 2 a.m. a light would flicker on for a few seconds in a classroom on the 3rd floor. Always the same room, room 302. The thing is, there's no room 302. The hallway ends at 301. Nothing but a blank wall beyond that. But I saw it on the cameras. The light. Flicking on and off. Same time. Every night. So one night, I went up there. And I swear to you, the hallway was longer than it had ever been. Like the school had grown another 20 feet overnight. At the very end, where there should have been a wall, there was a door. Dusty brown. Skinny vertical window. Painted stenciled numbers, 302. I peeked through the glass. Lights off. But I swear, someone was standing inside. I tried the handle. Locked. No sound. No movement. The next day, I asked the building manager if we had a room 302. He just looked at me for a long time and said, "We don't talk about that room." His tone was flat. Not joking. Dead serious. Then he walked away. So, that night, I went back. Bolt cutters in hand. Flashlight. Phone on record. The door wasn't just locked, it resisted. Almost like it didn't want to open. But eventually, the metal gave way. And I stepped inside. The air was heavy. Not dusty. Not musty. Just still. It looked like a normal classroom from 1996. Perfect rows of desks. Chalkboard. Old analog clock frozen at 2:03. Everything was clean. No dust. No cobwebs. Like someone had cleaned it 5 minutes ago. I walked to the teacher's desk. Sitting on top was a notebook. Black. Unlabeled. Inside, attendance records. Names scratched in, not written, scratched. Deep. Ragged. Angry. Sarah Green. Jordan Wu. Lily Alvarez. Luis Carter. Dozens of names. And every one of them had the same final date, October 17, 1998. I knew that date. Every person listed in that book was a student who went missing from Merrill Ridge High. Some had been gone for years. A few, decades. My hands were shaking. Then I heard it. A whisper. Right behind me. "Take your seat." I turned around. No one. But the back row desk was pulled out. Like it was waiting for me. I ran. Slammed the door. Didn't stop until I hit the parking lot. I don't even remember breathing. The next morning, room 302 was gone again. The wall was solid. No sign a door was ever there. And when I checked the cameras, the hallway angle had changed. Like it was hiding something. I brought it to the principal. Asked him directly, what happened on October 17, 1998. He didn't blink. Didn't hesitate. Just said, "I don't know what you're talking about." Then walked away. But I do. I went to the local archive. Checked every yearbook from 1998. Missing pages. Whole sections removed. Every mention of Class 3A. Gone. Every student in that notebook. No school record. No photos. It's like they were erased. Not taken. Not dead. Erased. 3 nights ago, I fell asleep during my shift. I woke up to every monitor playing the same feed. Room 302. Only now the desks weren't empty. They were full. Students sitting perfectly still. Staring straight ahead. Each one pale. Unblinking. Frozen. I zoomed in. One of them was Sarah Green. Another was Lily Alvarez. Faces from missing posters that still hang in the staff room. And then, all at once, they turned. Every student turned their head to face the camera and stared directly at me. Eyes wide. Mouths shut. That's when I shut the whole system down. Haven't turned it on since. That night, when I got home, something was sitting on my kitchen table. The black notebook. Only now, there was a new name scratched in. Mine. And beside it, tomorrow's date. I didn't go in the next day. I sat in silence. Notebook in my lap. TV off. Lights off. At 11:43 p.m. the doorbell rang. I didn't answer. It rang again. And then I heard it. That same buzzing light sound. But now it was in my apartment. The fluorescence above me flickered on. The walls started to feel wrong. Then my TV turned on by itself. Static. Then video. A live feed of room 302. Only this time, there was just one desk. One chair. And someone sitting in it. Me. I was staring ahead. Still. Expressionless. I tried to move. Couldn't. My arms. My legs. Nothing responded. Then. I started remembering things I shouldn't. Textbook titles. A pop quiz from 1998. The sound of chalk on a board. And a word, burned into my head, present. My phone buzzed once. No number. No subject. Just a photo. Of me. Sitting in room 302. Only. I never took it. I don't think I'm going to remember any of this by morning. I don't think I'm supposed to. This is what it does. It finds people who are alone. Forgotten. Background characters. And it teaches them to disappear. To sit still. To obey. Class 3A doesn't kidnap people. It recruits them. It's a classroom for the erased. If you ever find a hallway that's too long. If a light flickers where no room should be. If a name disappears from roll call. Don't go looking. Don't check the door. And whatever you do, don't take your seat.